All right, we're here at T-Nation headquarters. My name's Boyce. I'm here to give Danny Shugart a little workout. We're gonna look at the bench press first. We're gonna troubleshoot some stuff. We're gonna get right into it right now. So first we're gonna take a look at her form and technique, just in her setup, before we break anything else down. And then we'll take a look at her actual repetitions before we do a little bit of troubleshooting. So what I want you to do here is, you're gonna hold onto the bar, make sure your eyes are underneath the bar first. You're gonna come back a little bit, yeah?
Okay.
Then we're gonna pull the feet in a little bit closer towards yourself. You're gonna have a nice wide base. So there's space underneath your back, and that's an okay thing. Just make sure it's coming by way of your thoracic spine, so pull the shoulder blades back together.
Okay.
Having a good high rib cage, it's not gonna be stressful on the spine as long as it's not too pronounced, okay? So this looks pretty good. Next thing, we're gonna make sure that we have the hands in the even spacing apart. So what's your most comfortable positioning?
Probably right around here.
Right around there? Yeah. Let's take it out of the rack and let's see what that looks like stacked over top of the shoulder there. So we're just gonna bring it out to your full extension position. All right, and before anything else, let's see a couple of your reps the way you like to do them best. Okay, let's rack it up. So, before I continue, tell me what frustrations you've been having with your bench press in terms of activation, in terms of pain, discomfort, anything like that.
Well, I haven't really been consistent with it because it feels weird in my shoulder, in the joints, where it's not supposed to feel weird.
Okay, so we'll do a couple of things that will help with centration, but also we have to look at the bar path. So taking a look at it from the side angle, when you were down there, I was noticing that you were pressing the bar straight up and down. Now, when you come down to that bottom position and the bar's right on the base of the chest there, if you press straight up over that again, the bar's going to be over empty space because your arm is not vertical. We need the bar to finish over the shoulder at the top. So it's going to travel in a slightly slanted sort of pattern, okay? So try that again. Let's try just making that adjustment. You're going to have a slight backward slant when you make that press.
Okay.
So feet, shoulders in tight. Good. Right. Same point of contact, slight drive backwards. Yeah. So we're going to aim for you to get right in this pocket on my thumb right here. Same spot, drive it. That's it. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but then it's going to start feeling like you do it in your sleep. Good. All right.
That feels way better.
Good. So, second thing we're going to look at is what emphasis we're actually creating with regards to tension on the bar. A lot of power lifters, a lot of people from that community, they'll talk about pulling apart on the bar in order to engage the upper back and so on. And that's not a bad cue. It's good to help get some stability through the scapula. But for clients or lifters who already have a background, know what they're doing, and know how to generally set up for a bench press, I actually like for pec activation to pull inwards on the bar. So keep the same hand grip and you squeeze inwards on the bar. And it's the reason why exercises like chest flies work so well or squeeze presses work so well, because it's creating that tension that's in line with the pec fibers line of direction. Okay? So let's try making that tension now. And for that, I'm also going to ask you to make your hands just a little bit wider out, just so you can get that proper squeeze in. So chest stays out, tension inwards now, same points of contact. Squeezing in the whole time. Nice. One more. Good. So the difference between this set and the set that you just did before and the set that you started with, do you notice any sort of changes?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to look at, just so that we can help with joint centration, the centration of the shoulder joint, we're going to do an isometric exercise. It's going to really help activate those end ranges behind for the rear deltoids to get fired up and sort of get active.
Okay, right.
So what we need here is actually a wall. Okay. So any open space, any wall that we can sort of move to is what we want to go for here. I like anything around here.
Okay.
Good. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your back to the wall and you're going to sort of be in a sort of like a position like this where your butt is the thing that's touching the wall right here like that. Okay?
Okay.
Now that's starting position. You're going to lean forward but keeping that point of contact. You're going to make fists, long arms, and you're going to squeeze back and try to break through the wall the entire time. Don't change the torso position. Just drive back as hard as you can.
Okay.
We're going to do that for a 20-second count. I'm just going to be counting in my head.
Okay.
You're going to hold the max tension as hard as you can.
All right.
15 left. Lean forward a little bit. Keep that. Good.
Okay.
10. Hard as you can. Straight elbows. 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to rest for 15, and we're going to repeat that once more.
Okay.
So think about keeping the rib cage squeezed up high, keep a proud chest, And we're gonna keep the shoulder blades retracted while you do it as you do that, driving as hard as you can, okay? So this is usually a region that of a shoulder extension that most exercise will only pass through, right? If you're doing like a reverse pull like this or something like that, people only reach that instant at the very last point, and it'll just glance through it and come back.
Okay.
So we're doing maximal effort through that range of motion, which is something that no other exercise will really touch, okay? Yeah. Keep on going, 15 more seconds. Good, shoulders back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay. So now that she's primed up and she's ready to go, we're going to put a little bit of load on the bench press for a working set.
All right.
Let's throw on 5 kg on either side. Just okay. Yeah, let's clip it up. Let's clip it up. Okay. Same cues apply, same principles that we went through for all these repetitions. Gonna make sure that you have that angle, that tension inwards.
Okay.
We're gonna go for it. Good. Nice. 4 more reps. That's it.
Awesome.
Child's play. Child's play. All right. We're going to take a short rest. We're going to do one more activation the same way isometrically over there. I'm going to set you up for the next set. We're going to move up and load.
Okay, great.
One set of 20 seconds this time. Good. All right.
I didn't want to cheat it, but I was like, I don't know. I lost count.
Years of running 100 meters in a certain amount of time has made me okay with seconds in my head. Right. So we got another 5 kg on either side here.
Okay.
I'm going to go for another 8 repetitions.
Great.
Squeeze the chest out, body in tight, that's it. Nice. Good. Three more. Breathing.
No.
Up. Last one. Head straight, drive. Good job. Good.
Yeah. I did forget to breathe.
So, relatively short rests in between these sets, but your technique is improving. Just remember, even though you're in the presence of fatigue, keep that tension, keep all of your form, and keep that bar path being consistent, okay? We'll get one more loaded set, we'll get one more of those activation drills, and then we're gonna move on to another exercise.
Nice.
Let's get into a deeper torso angle this time, just so we can get more of an end range of your shoulder extension.
Okay.
Yep. And drive right back as hard as you can. Try not to stand up. 15 seconds. Good. Crowd chest. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Go home stretch. Final set. How's the chest feeling? How's the activation feeling and stuff?
Really good. I know that on the last one I definitely needed to try and push in a little bit more. I was just too focused on like, oh, can I do this weight? Is this okay? Is this safe? I mean, it felt great, felt powerful, but I needed to focus more on the pec activation.
Okay, so I'm gonna add one more cue to this, and the only thing that I'm gonna add is think about pressing through the floor as well.
Okay.
So remember that even though it's a horizontal pressing pattern, the bar is still vertically moving away from the floor. Okay. So we need something that applies force into the ground too, so that's where your feet are gonna come in handy.
Okay.
Okay, we're a little fatigued now. Let's try 6 to 8 repetitions here. We'll see how it goes. Chest up. Let's give it a shot. Drive. Good. Drive. 2. Good. Blow the weight away. 3. 4. Good. 5. Good. 2 more. Keep going. 2. Last one. Up. Nice. In terms of quality, that set was much better than the last one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Much better than the last one. Didn't have to come into really spot at all, and your head stayed straight as well, which is good. Okay. So let's move on to a single arm dumbbell row.
Okay, great.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a bench. We'll set up this one right here.
Okay.
And for this one, I'm gonna do the same thing where I just take a look at what you're doing, what you plan to do with the dumbbell first, and then I'm gonna sort of break down troubleshoot from there. What kind of weight do you like?
You know, I don't do one-arm rows very often with dumbbells, so I don't know. I usually do machine type stuff.
Okay. Let's go for about 25 pounds or so.
Okay.
So where are we?
So this is 18.5. This is 23.
Okay. Let's use 23.
Okay.
No, you got fat handles as well.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look at your form and technique for single arm dumbbell row.
Okay.
One knee's on the bench, one knee's off the bench, and we're just pulling first. Okay. Then we're gonna go into a few fundamentals about it.
All right.
Three more times. So to be honest, this is what a lot of intermediate lifters will do, okay? This is not a way that what you're doing isn't a way that's not gonna hit your back at all. I know you hit your back for sure. It was a good pull, you're retracting your shoulder blade, etc. But if we want to really start nitpicking and really make it a lat dominant exercise, which I think it serves the best purpose for,
right.
We think about things like our base, our setup, and our line of force.
Right.
So first things first, what you're gonna do is you're gonna set up a little wider, okay? So I want you to have a wider base so that the dumbbell's kind of in between both of your feet.
Okay, right.
So in space, you want to be sort of balanced out like that.
Okay.
All right. So the second thing, it's actually put the dumbbells right where it is, because what I want you to do, you're going to sort of sit back toward your heel a little bit, not too much, bring it forward a little bit, right about there,
okay.
And right where your arm is, right there. So bring that bar forward again. Bring it back.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So right where your hand is, that's kind of the drag pattern that I want you to follow. Okay.
So kind of.
Yeah. And the reason why is because your lat fibers, they don't travel like this. And they don't travel like this. They're on a little bit of a slant. So we want our humerus to actually sort of follow that path. And if you have that drag pattern or a slanted arm pattern like that, it's really gonna hit the lats a lot more effectively, okay? So let's give that a shot. You're gonna pull back towards the hip, send the shoulder and drag back. Perfect. Raise the rib cage on every repetition. Good. So squeeze the chest up high. Want to face up towards me a little bit more every single time. Yeah. Good. Let's make it more fluid now. Add a little speed to it. 6, good. Chest up. 7, let's get to 12. 8, nice rep. 9. 2 more. All right, good. Let's do the other side, then I'm going to give you one more tip on this.
Okay, great.
Skip the left side.
All right.
Same thing, wide base, sit the hips back just a little bit. We got the dumbbell just out in front, and we're gonna drag it right back with the high chest on each pull. Boom. Good. Keep the chin neutral. That's it. Good, get that stretch. 6, remember the tempo. Not too far in front of you, just drag back to the hip. That's it. 3 left. 3, nice. 2, last one. Good. Okay, so Danny Shugart is about 5'10".
Yeah.
So we have a taller person with pretty long arms as well. And because of that, it brings up a very, very important point with regards to long armed lifters, long extremity lifters, taller lifters, and what sort of physics that they have to take into consideration when it comes to bearing load and lifting heavy. Okay, so when we're doing a row like this, the distance that she has to travel might not bring the dumbbell all the way to her waist, so we can't use that tactile endpoint where we're pulling and we reach a certain point, or we do a pull down or pull up and we reach a certain point on the body. We want to stop a couple of inches shy. The reason why is because the point that she's going to reach max contraction might not match where the dumbbell actually reaches her body because of how much more distance her arm has to travel compared to somebody with shorter arms. I hope that makes sense, because what's going to happen if she does use a landmark and she pulls all the way here is something that I was sort of seeing the beginnings of in the set, which is a little bit of shoulder glide. You start out in the right position and you pull and pull and pull, and your elbow's already beside your body, the dumbbell's still pretty far away from your body, but you continue pulling, and then this starts to happen, where the shoulders slide out of position. Okay, this is something that's very, very common. If someone was to go and do a pull-up with really long arms, you see the same thing happen, where they pull and it looks really good, but then they keep going that extra mile to get the sternum to contact, and that starts happening. So it can negate parts of the lift if we pull a little bit too far. So we want to make sure that you pull a little bit shorter than that complete flexion, okay? So let's stop 2 inches shy. It's going to allow you to keep that torso up a little bit higher too, okay? Let's get another set of 12 per arm. Same principles apply. Get the stretch in the lat first. So you unlock that shoulder. Good. Now drag it back almost to the same place. A little bit further than that. That's good. Good. 4. Good. Let's make that smooth now. 5. Good. Keep the chest up high. 6. Perfect rep right there. 8. 4 more. 4. Good. Not too much swing. 1 line. 3. That's it. 2. Last 1. Good job. Switch sides.
I definitely feel that more.
Yeah. When we treat it with that arcing pattern like I'm showing you, what it's also going to do is going to make it more of a lat dominant exercise. When people pull straight up and down, they'll hit a little bit of their upper back, or they will hit their upper back, but I feel that there's better row options for upper back isolation compared to this particular one. We're in a different configuration and the arm has to swing freely from a neutral standpoint. It's great for the lats. Let's use it for the lats. Nice. Good. Get a straight elbow at the bottom. Reach. Good. Get the stretch. Dig in right here. 5. Nice. High rib cage. 6. Nice. 4 more. Breathe out on each pull. 3. 2. Last 1. Good job. Rest. All right. So as you rest, a little bit more cueing. Again, form and techniques much improved compared to before. Everything looks really good. You've killed that shoulder glide, which is great as well. You're pulling to the right place. So if we want to bring things a little bit further, we start thinking about just the tension that you're creating through the rest of the body, okay? Like irradiation and stuff like that, where you start tensing other muscles to help create stability in the surrounding muscles. That's the idea that I'm having with what I'm about to say here. So what's going on with the leg and hand that's on the bench is the question. We think about the working side, we think about the grounded side, and we think about what we're doing with this side. And I haven't even addressed the other side yet. So I want you to really, really push down hard with that free arm, that supporting arm into the bench. So you have a nice stable position where it doesn't collapse into you, you don't end up twisting or anything like that. You don't bend the elbow at all. So you're really, really pushing down. Matter of fact, let's move you forward just a little bit. And now you're going to have this incline angle for you to really, really press into from here with the supporting arm. And it might feel a little bit nicer. I like using this or a slightly inclined bench when I do rows myself. And it's really helpful for me.
Okay, great.
So let's bring the left knee a little forward. Left knee, left knee. That's it, just like that. Good, so we're pushing down with that left arm and we're driving up with the other side. Nice. Good. 4, want to see that shoulder get dragged back each rep. Nice. 8, good. Same spot of contact, same point of contraction. 3 more. 3. 2, last 1. Nice. And you hit the other side. I have a cool isometric for you to do after this.
Okay. All right.
Good. 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 Keep emphasizing the chest up on each repetition. 6, good. 7, good. Bring it in. 4 more. 4, not too much drift. 3, that's better. Nice.
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Differences here compared to our first setups.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it should be a little bit more concise towards getting those lats to fire and keeping tense throughout the entire thing.